So this is an activity that I can have students try in tutoring sessions that gets us to talk about math. And I want to share my screen so you can see it. This is called Would You Rather? And it's an activity that gets you thinking about numbers, and there's no right answer. So this is for you to decide. If you either want a piece of paper or just want to think through it in your brain, that's okay. But we have a situation here where we are wanting to take a hike. And you got two situations. On the left, it says, would you rather hike 2 7/8 miles, flat trails in the woods, and then 1 3/4 miles back along the river trail? Or would you rather hike to the summit of a small mountain 2 1/3 miles up and then 1 2/5 of the mile down? You got two hiking. You're going to go out with your brothers and sisters. You're going to take a big long hike. Which one of those would you rather do and why?
I think I'd rather do the 2 7/8 miles of flat trail and then the river trail, because I think it'll be easier, other than climbing up a mountain and then going back down. And I also like to look at rivers and walk in them.
Oh, very nice. I like that. Can you think of a reason why someone might want to pick the other choice? Why someone might say the other choice makes sense?
Because there are really amazing views that you can see, and climbing mountains are fun.
Oh, nice. So I think your hiking situation is you don't care about how far you're hiking, you just care about what you're going to see. I like it.
Yeah.
What if someone was really tired that day and they didn't really feel like hiking so far? Which situation do you think might they like better?
Well, I think if they didn't want to hike far, then they'd probably do the mountain, but that would take up more energy. So maybe the river trail.
Oh, interesting. So you're saying the mountain is not as far as the river trail, but it might be more tiring because it's going up. How did you know that the mountain trail wasn't as far?
Because 2 1/3 and 1 2/5 equal less than 2 7/8 and 1 3/4.
Oh, how'd you figure that out? Did you just do the math? Did you do all the calculations?
I kind of just guessed. Look at the numbers.
Look at the numbers. So you're saying,
but they are 7/8 isn't really that big of a fraction. So they kind of are the same, but I think the river trail is a little bit longer.
The river trail is a little longer. So if I was looking at, let's see, I'm going to write these numbers down. 2 7/8, 1 3/4. So if I was going to compare these, like I've got one that's 2 and then a little bit, and 2 and a little bit, and 1 and a little bit, and 1 and a little bit. So really, if I could look at the little bits, I could compare to see which one's one. So I've got 7/8 over here and 1/3. Do you know which one's bigger?
Think 1/3.
We think 1/3 is bigger. Oh, now you're gonna make me want to test it out. What do you think? I'm gonna pull up. Let me see this. Math Learning Center. I should have had these ready because I know there are some apps that I really like using. Not at home. And we are going to use some fractions shapes. I'm going to open them up and let's see. So we said we were going to compare 7/8 and 1/3, right? Were those the two numbers? Okay, so 7/8. So I'm going to make two pie charts that are looking the same size. And I'm going to make one that's broken into thirds and one that's broken into eighths. And if I color those in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. So which one is
7/8 is bigger.
Yeah, 7/8 is bigger. And it's, even though sometimes we think with fractions, you know, the bigger number at the bottom means the parts are smaller, but we have more of the parts this time. So sometimes it helps me if I
Yeah.
just like this. So I think actually looking at that question for would you rather, I think when you said that the flat trail is longer, it does look like 2 7/8 is longer than 2 1/3. And now let's check the 1 3/4 and 2/5. Do you know which one's longer, 3/4 or 2/5?
I think it is 3/4.
3/4. Let's do a quick check. I'm going to pull another chart. How many parts should I break it into?
4.
Yeah, need 4 parts. And then we'll need another one. Ooh, I don't know why it pops at the top. And how many parts do we need to break that one into? Let's see.
5.
5 equal parts. You're right. So we'll make that into 5. All right. So we wanted to compare 3/4. We'll make these a different color. 1, 2, 3, and 2/5. So
3/4 is bigger.
yeah, it is bigger. You're right. So this would be a nice way of seeing. So I think you are absolutely right. It does look like the flat trail is farther, even though I didn't even add up the total. I can still tell from estimating that that's longer. So I can both reasons which one I'd want to do. I can see, you know, if I'm really tired, I don't know which would be better. I could see it going either way. This one's longer, but this one is steeper. Right?
Yeah.
Awesome.